once again, first thing first, let me apologize to my subs because I kind of started late on my series of White Thugs of Hell. So this is going to be a little bit delayed. A little delayed, but not that much. This is going to be day 10 of my series running through the month of July called White Thugs of Hell. And tonight's subject is the picture of this man you see here. Does he look kind of familiar to you? Well, he should. If some of y'all say that if he resembles to you George Bush, then you're absolutely correct. Because this is the father, the patriarch of the Bush dynasty that started it all for him. All the way down. This is Prescott Bush. Prescott Bush, man. Interesting character. Most notably, allegedly, he was the one who basically starts the Bush dynasty. This is the father of George Herbert Walker Bush, the grandfather of W. Bush, and of course the jughead Jeb Bush, great grandfather, you know, and several other the Bush family on down. Prescott Bush was not a very nice guy. Not much to say about it. But the one thing that he's known for is how he helped finance Adolf Hitler's rise to power. There's been several accusations of that and documentations that show that as well. I may pull it up or may not. If I do get the chance, I might do it. But Prescott Bush was like something else. And let me show you how the family lineage goes down. This was his crime. He traded a lot with the Nazis and stuff. Remind you of somebody else now. His punishment, didn't go to jail, but he got elected senator representing Connecticut from 1952 until January 1963. 1963, his son, George Herbert Walker Bush, was also at that time was the head of the CIA. And still got connects there. Okay? George Herbert Walker Bush married the lady which I say that looks like the man on the Quaker Oats box. I'm sorry. Every time I come up with that just remind me, when you pick up, you ever seen like the Quaker Oats grits, the box of grits that you buy in the supermarket? Look at that man and look at Barbara Bush. You can't tell me that junk don't look like, they don't look alike. Oh God. I mean, y'all thought my Sammy Sosa ice cream comparison was something, or cereal. How he went from Sammy Sosa to Count Chocula to Frankenberry. This was even worse. Anyway, he also had two sons too. Y'all know about W, you know, who was elected later on to become the governor of Texas. And meantime, there's the jughead right there, Jebra Bush, who came up in his brother's footsteps and all that, and we know him very familiar down here because he was the governor of Florida. Good grief. Not good for us. Now we dealing with another idiot in Rick Scott. And then here you got the other grandson who was head of security at the World Trade Center. You know what I'm saying? Because look at the timeline. So the Bush family really runs real deep and extremely dangerous. But Prescott Bush, he put all this in motion way back in the 1950s, 1940s, and 1930s. The crime he trading with the enemy, with the Nazis. But see, nobody seemed to talk about that. But they quick and ready to go ahead and talk about President Tangerine and the debacle with Russia. But you know what? All of them did the same thing. All of them do. And Prescott Bush, this video, this one here is not going to be too long, but because you can just see it for yourself. The Bush dynasty, and none of them, and I do mean none of them, had black people's interests at heart. None of them. Bush Sr. was head of the CIA. CIA was responsible for dropping drugs into the black communities, like in Los Angeles, as well as everything else. Okay? His son, George W. Bush, when he was governor of Texas, he refused to pass a hate crime law after the murder of James Byrd, who got dragged by three Peckerwoods who tied him to the back of the truck, and they dragged him down half the street. This was in Jasper, Texas. Now, any of my people that stay in Texas, like in Houston or Dallas or San Antonio, especially Houston, they can tell you all about East Texas. That's nothing but a haven for trailer apes and the Ku Klux Klans. Okay. Same thing was followed by his brother, Jebra. Jesus, I tell you, man, look here. Trump gave him so many names, it's ridiculous. I mean, really, really ridiculous. But Trump already had exposed them, and let me tell you something. You think I'm lying about that? Let's go. Let me go here right now. It's just, I'll just go here right now. We'll go here right now. Some of those debates were just like crazy.
Not much more on this, but I want to move now back to Mr.
This legislation.
Hold on. We have a lot to discuss. I want to move to Mr. Trump right now. We have a question on this war against ISIS and how you would fight and win this war. Here's the question from Facebook. Listen to this.
I'm Josh Shaker from Georgia Tech. Recently, Donald...
We have people going on. They knew what was going on. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television. I would be very, very firm with families. And frankly, that will make people think. Because they may not care much about their lives, but they do care, believe it or not.
But the idea that, look, this
families' lives.
Donald,
Governor Bush.
This is another example of the lack of seriousness. Look, this is troubling because we're at war. They've declared war on us, and we need to have a serious strategy to destroy ISIS. But the idea that that is a solution to this is just crazy. It makes no sense to suggest this. Look, 2 months ago, Donald Trump said that ISIS was not our fight. Just 2 months ago. He said that Hillary Clinton would be a great negotiator with Iran. And he gets his foreign policy experience from the shows. That is not a serious kind of candidate. We need someone that thinks this through, that can lead our country to safety and security.
Mr. Trump.
Look, the problem is, we need toughness. Honestly, I think Jeb is a very nice person. He's a very nice person, but we need tough people. We need toughness. We need intelligence, and we need tough. Jeb said when they come across the southern border, they come as an act of love.
You said in September 30th that ISIS was not a...
Am I talking or are you talking, Jeb?
I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
You can go back. You're not talking. You interrupted me,
September 30th,
Are you going to
you said
apologize, Jeb? No. Am I allowed to finish?
Yes, one at a time. Go
Excuse
ahead,
me. Am I allowed to finish?
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
So,
Little bit
again,
I
know you're trying to build up your energy, Jeb, but it's not working.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Look. We need a toughness. We need strength. We're not respected as a nation anymore. We don't have that level of respect that we need. And if we don't get it back fast, we're just going to go weaker, and just disintegrate. We can't allow that to happen. We need strength. We don't have it. When Jeb comes out and he talks about the border, and I saw it, and I was witness to it, and so was everyone else, and I was standing there, they come across as an act of love. He's saying the same thing right now with radical Islam. And we can't have that in our country. It just won't work. We need strength.
Governor Bush.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency. That's not going to happen. And I do have the strength. Leadership is not about attacking people and disparaging people. Leadership is about creating a serious strategy to deal with the threat of our time. And I laid out that strategy before the attacks in Paris and before the attacks in San Bernardino, and it is the way forward. We need to increase our military spending. We need to deal with a no-fly zone in Syria, a safe zone. We need to focus on building a military that is second to none so that we can destroy Islamic terrorism.
With Jeb's attitude, we will never be great again. That I can tell you. We will never be great again.
All right, Hugh Hewitt at Denabash. Hugh, go ahead with the next question. Governor Bush.
Commander-in-Chief question. You said that Mr. Trump is not qualified to be president because he's not qualified to deal with Vladimir Putin. Why are you better qualified to deal with Vladimir Putin than Mr. Trump?
Because first of all, I know what I don't know. I know what I don't know. I would seek out, as I have, the best advice that exists. I won't get my information from the shows. I don't know if that's Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I don't know which one. I will seek out the best advice, and I will create a strategy, and I will persuade the American people what the role of America should be. I've laid out a policy of rebuilding our military. All of the talk that we're saying here, most of which I agree on, frankly, requires a much stronger military. We now have a lack of readiness that is quite scary. We have planes that Harry Truman inaugurated, the B-52. We have the Navy has been gutted and decimated. The readiness of the Marines is way down. If we're serious about America's leadership in the world, then we need to make sure that we have the back of the armed forces. The Armed Forces Radio is here listening to this today. I hope they know that if I'm president, I'll be a commander-in-chief, not an agitator-in-chief or a divider-in-chief, that I will lead this country in a way that will create greater security and greater safety.
Mr. Trump.
I think it's very sad that CNN leads Jeb Bush, Governor Bush, down a road by starting off virtually all of the questions. Mr. Trump this, I think it's very sad. And frankly, I think it's very sad. And frankly, I watched the first debate, and the first long number of questions were, Mr. Trump said this, Mr. Trump said that, Mr. Trump. These poor guys, although I must tell you, Santorum, good guy. Governor Huckabee, good guy. They were very nice, and I respect them greatly. But I thought it was very unfair that virtually the entire early portion of the debate was Trump this, Trump that, in order to get ratings.
Mr. Trump, it's not CNN. Mr. Trump, I was on CNN last night watching.
Excuse me, I think it's very unprofessional.
But it wasn't CNN. It was me. I watched you last night for 16 minutes.
I think it's very
not CNN. It's not CNN. It's America's watching you.
Okay, fine.
It's America's watching.
So I was mentioned, so I can bring up something, I think, right? Look, the simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated
this
fairly,
isn't tough and easy.
Imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin, or dealing with President Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the
I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
This doesn't do a thing to solve the problem.
One at a time.
It sounds more and more.
It sounds more and more.
It was basically strategic. I would show y'all more, but I'm going to leave the link in the description for y'all on this, though. But my point is this. Like, look. This is probably the most wicked dynasty, and this is the man responsible for that. You know, Prescott Bush. I've known about him for a very long time. And now y'all wondering where he was spawned, where the Bushes spawned from. This from the loins of this. You know, the Bushes for years have always been one of the greatest enemies of black people. George H.W. Bush, when he was president, he sent troop National Guard down in South Central L.A. during the L.A. riots after the Rodney King verdict. And Simi Valley verdict. George W., we know about 9/11. We know about this. But Prescott Bush, this man's pure evil, man. I think he passed on, though, I'm not mistaken. But this is what it is with this. I got no more to say on that. I'm done.